Every time I think that I have it all together, something else comes up.
Robin Foxwell, a practicing attorney with 2 kids in college, lives paycheck to paycheck. Finding money to set aside each month is tough.
And I don't live above my means either.
A Federal Reserve survey found 40% of adults don't have $400 to cover an emergency expense.
If we met you on the street and we didn't do a full financial plan and you said, hey, what should I really focus on first? Besides the debt equation, emergency funds are vital.
Financial advisor Chad Chubb says try to avoid using high-interest credit cards for emergencies. If you have one, look into an investment account that's accessible in the short term instead. But what do you tackle first, debt or savings?
It's also not an all or nothing type thing where you have to say, I'm going to put it all into the emergency fund. Sometimes it's as simple as we're going to pay down some of the credit card debt, we're going to put some in the emergency fund, and we're going to keep building on these good habits.
Another good habit, setting a budget.
I plan to save. I pretty much know how much I bring home, and I know my bills. So with that, I do pretty good with the savings.
Kwatima Hoyt uses her budget to set savings goals. Others aren't as enthused by putting a monthly plan to pen and paper.
It's too complicated. I have a sense of what we can afford.
Chubb sees it all.
Which I think is a barrier for a lot of people. It's the stress. They're scared to see where their money goes.
With finances being a top stressor, he recommends setting up an auto transfer to a savings account once you've identified how much you can afford to save. If you're expecting a tax return, set some of that money aside. And if nothing else, Chud says be honest with yourself and your partner about where things are at.
And for some reason, finance is still taboo, even with our significant others. So I think just having that sit-down conversation, say, hey, what's important to us? Whether it's goals, whether it's going through a budget, maybe it's student loans. I think that is the main step